of course, my favorite part, of which I'm always embarrassed by, but you'll see me do it every time, is the interactive wand experiences that are going to be throughout. Look, don't laugh at me. You can bet that I'm going to be walking around doing my little wand waving thing, trying to figure out. Look, the worst part, if you've never done it, have you ever done it?
No,
So you
I
get
have
this
not.
wand, right? And it comes with this little map. And the map, it shows you the different spots throughout the park that you can go do these spells at. And it shows you the
Mhm.
gesture that you're supposed to do. And let me tell you what, some of these that I was standing there for like 5 minutes, like, and nothing happened, but
I
you
want to come
see it
video that.
every time. Like every time you go, you see somebody standing there, like, because it's not working. What is up? Welcome back to take 2 of episode 5 of Going Beyond the Castle. I am your host, Fred Briley, and with me, as always, is my fabulous co-host, Lori Talamo. And we are here for the second time to try to record this episode because last week my computer just did not want to do it. And after an hour long of recording an episode, we're starting from scratch, but that's okay because now we get a second chance to do it better.
Absolutely. Yep. Second
So
time's a charm.
let's hope so, because I don't know if I can talk about the same thing for 3 weeks in a row. I don't know.
Right. At least this
But
time it
yes,
wasn't me.
right, yeah. Well, we think we got the video issues figured out. So yeah, your video worked fine last week. So you trying to be fancy with your green screen was the issue the whole time.
Yeah. So now we have a new fancy ear wall with some little greenery shelves. So
Which is way better than
there
your
we go.
green screen, in my opinion. So
Perfect. Thank you.
but this week, yeah, we're super excited. We're a little bit behind the power curve with the announcement, but of course, better late than never. I'm super excited that we're going to be talking about Universal's newest announcement, the opening of Epic Universe, which we've all been waiting for a very long time. So today, we're just going to dive into everything Epic Universe. We're going to talk about opening dates. We're going to talk ticket options, and of course we're going to dive into each of the specific lands within Epic Universe and take a little bit closer look at those. But before we do that, we're going to change it up and we're going to start with some announcements, that some updates, some Disney / Universal news and updates that have happened, which of course, since we recorded last week, some have changed. But Lori, take it away with our announcements.
Yes, sweet. Yeah, so we thought it'd be fun just to start giving a little bit of announcements, some things that are going on around the theme park world. So over at Disney, we have Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, which should be permanently closed now, making way for the new Villains show that's coming over to Hollywood Studios. We got Big Thunder Mountain that's closing. This is a big one. It's closing in January, and it just says sometime in 2026. So we're not really sure how long that's going to be down for.
So
So
stupid.
if Big Thunder is one of your favorites, you might want to hurry up and get in a quick trip and go get a ride, because we don't know how long that's going to be. And I know we kind of speculated a little bit before. We're not really sure if it's um, the closure is to make way for the new
Villains.
villains
Or,
area
yeah.
or not. So we'll see. I guess we'll see what the big reveal is once it's finished. And of course, Fred's favorite Dino Land is closing permanently in
Thank
January of 2025 over at Animal Kingdom.
Thank goodness.
I'm Yeah, we've talked about it before. It's doesn't really fit to me over in Animal Kingdom. So it'll be
No.
interesting to see, when they make the changes, how we then feel that fits in better. If you are a festival fan over at Epcot, they announced their Festival of the Arts dates. That's going to be January 17th through February 24th. This is one that I have not. I think it's probably the only festival
It's
over
such
in
a
Epcot that I
short
haven't.
it's such a short festival. Like it's
It really
barely
is.
even like 30 4 plus 3 is 7, so 37 days. Like
Yeah.
it's by far Epcot's shortest festival.
Yeah. We go in February for cheer. So if we make our way over to Epcot, then I'll get to go and take some pictures. Um, and then a couple of Universal announcements that aren't probably as significant. And I did research now to find out Me Ship the Olive is the little
I still don't know what that
boat
is.
that's over it's a little boat that's over by the Popeye barge ride. And you can that's where you stand on the boat and you can squirt folks that are on the ride. So that one's closing for a little bit. And then the Pterodon Flyers is closed for a refurb. Initially, it said close indefinitely, but Fred found out that it shows it's going to open back up in January. So we're both a little salty because we haven't gotten to ride that one. But you have a
My
better
time is
chance of riding
coming.
it than I do. Your
Yes.
time
You
is
can
coming.
we'll just take you with us the next time we go to Universal.
Hey, I'm down to babysit, and you girls love me. So,
Oh,
I
I
mean,
know.
take
They
me, I'll
proved
go
that
with you.
today.
Yeah. And then we had another announcement that you kind of handled in the first take. I don't know if you want to take it over with our name, official name.
Hey, I forgot. We are
Yes, you're
officially
official.
now we are Facebook official going beyond the castle. Um, so we finally reached our 60-day mark on Facebook, which is a stupid role, but I'm not a Facebook owner. So we are officially going beyond the castle. I think that that was the last thing we're waiting on, and now that it's a Facebook official, it's fully official now.
It is fully official. Yep.
So next time we make a podcast, we got to make sure we research the name better. I still don't know how
Right.
we missed it. We both of us missed that.
Yeah, which probably shouldn't admit because, that's part of what we do is research. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I think it might have
minor
been blocked or
details.
something because I definitely searched it and did not see it.
Maybe he
So,
created his podcast after us, but that's fine.
maybe so. I like going beyond the castle because,
I do too.
it
We're
fits because we're
going
definitely, yes. Yeah. Perfect.
cool, cool. So thanks for the announcements. Definitely some good announcements. Mainly Disney, but of course, Universal is pretty much taken up all by this Epic Universe announcement. Um, which I think it's funny, kind of looking back to the day that they actually announced Epic Universe opening. It makes you wonder: did Universal actually plan to announce it that day, or was it the fact that somebody leaked it to Wall Street and they released it? Was Universal like, well, guess we got to tell them now? Like,
Right. Yeah. It's crazy how that stuff gets leaked a lot. And then, especially in the travel agent world, you have folks that'll ask questions and you're like, no, we haven't heard that. And then you're like,
yeah,
oh, okay. Yeah, it's out there.
we'll get into it a little bit later on, but one of the things I'm surprised stayed quiet for as long as it did, or at least I didn't really see it, was the ticket options. Because I mean, Universal announced the ticket options to us travel agents months ago, and they were like, "Hey, don't tell a living soul that's not a travel agent what you're about to learn about." So they kept that on their apps pretty well. I feel like because I don't ever remember seeing anything about the ticket options leading up to the big announcement last week.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But with that being said, might as well just go ahead and dive into it. If I'll let you take the reins for introduction and
Okay.
kind of giving a brief overview of what Epic Universe is going to be before we dive into the
Sure.
different parks.
Yeah, so Epic Universe is Orlando's newest theme park. It's going to be built out into 5 lands, which I'm sure you guys have read about or heard about. There's the Celestial Park, Dark Universe, How to Train Your Dragon, Super Nintendo Land, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. And so I think this is huge for Universal. It's going to bring,
Yeah.
a lot of different activities for different ages. We've talked about it briefly, I think, on maybe on my trip report, how, don't feel like there's a whole lot for little kids to do with Epic Universe. I think they're bringing in a little bit more. So I'll be interested to see, once it's all open, how that kind of fits into the different dynamics for different age groups. But
Yeah.
those are the 5 parks, 5 lands within the park. And then what I think is interesting too is that it's like a 10 to 15-minute drive from the other parks. So
I've never looked at it on the map. Now I'm curious where it's going to be at.
yeah, yeah. I was reading and it says that it's south of the existing Orlando Resort parks. So I mean it's still close within the same vicinity, but I mean the same thing with Disney when you go to
Interesting.
the different parks. Um, you they're, a little bit a ways, probably more than 10 minutes apart when you get over into Disney World,
Depending on
but still close
Universal
enough.
Orlando traffic,
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
with
drive
that
by it when I'm
said,
there.
with that,
I said I'm gonna drive by it when I'm there in a week and a half. See what it looks like.
oh, there you go. I'd go check it out.
Yeah.
And then I know you briefly touched on it a little bit, so I guess we can say that before we get into the actual lands, on the ticket options. That when it initially opens, your options are to get a 3-day park to park ticket, and that includes 1 day at Epic Universe. So, and you can get more than 3 days, I'm sure, but you only get 1 day into Epic Universe when it first opens.
And unless you're a pass holder, you cannot get a single day ticket. Only pass holders can get the single day ticket for at least the first little bit. But you mean to get it.
Yeah.
They want to drive, attendance to the other parks as well. But
Yeah, and I'm sure it's probably a little bit of crowd control in the beginning, so that way it's not overwhelmed.
yeah,
Because yeah, I mean, I would absolutely buy 2 or 3 days and just go to Epic when it first opens,
for
or
sure.
my first trip there just to spend the time there. Especially since I've been to Universal, several times. I could see maybe someone who's never been before wanting to hit all of them, but, so I
I'm,
get it. So,
I'm curious, which that Universal hasn't released military military discounts yet for 2025. But with that being, a big thing on my side, I work with a lot of military families. Um, I'm curious how that's going to work, right? Because, Universal, in the past, Universal gave out essentially kind of like an annual pass to the military members. And so you could just kind of show up whenever and do what you want. So I'm curious how that's going to incorporate, which of course, that's probably why they haven't released it. Disney's released their 2025 discounts for tickets and rooms, but Universal hasn't yet. I'm sure they're still trying to figure out what that's going to look like for military members. Um,
yeah.
so we'll see. One thing I don't think we mentioned was the opening date.
Oh, right.
We should probably mention that
May
May 22nd is the opening date.
22nd. Yes.
Yes. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah.
May
Mhm.
22nd. Man, they're going to have a good Memorial Day weekend. That's for sure. That place is going to be
I know.
packed.
Yeah, I have some of my agent friends that, mentioned it in our workplace chat about, getting a group to go. But some of us are like, we're gonna wait a little bit and let some of the
Yeah.
newness die down. We're hoping to go next year as a group, but maybe not when it first opens.
Yeah, I think
Give
we're
it a
going to
little bit of
try.
time.
Our priorities are a cruise next year because we can't live in New Orleans and not take a cruise. So we have to take a cruise and then
Yeah.
probably try to squeeze in like a 4-day weekend trip, stay down at, you know, one of the value resorts and see if we can't hit up Epic Universe. I think probably like a fall trip like we normally do Disney, try to hit it up. So we'll see. But I'd like to try to hit Epic Universe late next year.
Yeah. Same. Same, same. All right, so let's start off with Celestial Park, since that is the main hub of Epic Universe. Yeah, and I did a little more digging, just to kind of the website doesn't give a whole lot of information just yet on a lot of details. Because initially I was reading, and it does say it's like lush greenery, tree lined walkways, dancing fountains, kind of giving you like a park vibe
Yeah.
within the theme park. So I was trying to, figure out because the rides, it's like Stardusters, but then there's also some like underwater type things. So it seems like it's just kind of like a smash up of, the constellations, astronomy
Yeah.
with a park.
They
So
have
it
some
looks,
like oceanic vibes going on too, though, which is interesting.
yeah, yeah, because the restaurant is the Atlantic. So I guess we'll go into that, which is like a Victorian aquarium. It's given like a lot of different vibes, I think. So I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll all come together, once everything is in place. But the Atlantic restaurant, it's like surf and turf dining menu. The scenery creates an illusion of being underwater in a massive aquarium. So you have, that aspect to it. And then the other restaurant is the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant. So then you got a little bit of Asian feel, with the dragons, lanterns.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit strange, I think, but cool because it's just seems different.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I guess
intrigued
it's
to
because
see.
it's the hub. Yeah, I guess it's since
Yeah.
it's the hub and it's the center, and you kind of can go off into the different directions.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
In that area, I feel like it's okay to kinda have, like, a couple different themes.
yeah,
Um,
the
and
rides. They'll have two rides in there: the Constellation Carousel,
mm,
which also is to resemble like under the sea garden type vibes. Um, and then the Stardust Racers, which is the roller coaster that looks like it's going to be extremely fun. Top
yeah.
speed of 62 miles per hour. It goes up 133 feet tall. It covers 5,000 feet of track. So that one looks pretty neat. I think it's two tracks and it's supposed to look like they are racing or
Yeah.
like, I guess, like fallen stars. They intertwine. So that one looks pretty neat. We're all about the coasters.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
For
some
sure.
of us are. So in my family, but it looks really
Yes.
neat, especially at
Josh
night.
not here for it.
No, Josh is not going to ride that. So that'll
That's good.
be me, Liv, and Braden for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really good ride. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. And then it also has the Helios Grand Hotel, which this one is pretty neat because this hotel is the one where you're I mean, essentially, like most of the properties, you say, "Oh, these are on property," but, like, this one's literally gonna be
On
on
in the
property
park.
where you step out yes, you step out into, Celestial Park, into the entrance to Epic Universe. So I
That's
think
super
that is
nice
gonna be a
hotel too.
pretty yeah, it looks really cool. This is one of the ones that in the model that's in City Walk
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
you can put your camera on and kind of look inside and see what it's going to look like. So I didn't check out the pricing on that one to see kind of where it stands, but I would imagine it's going to be along the lines of a deluxe, higher priced.
Let's find out because I'm on their website right now.
There you go.
It is below Hard Rock Hotel, which is signature collection. Oh crap. We'll come
It
back to
looks
it.
really
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it looks really neat. Yeah, you probably have to go through backs and check pricing. Well, I guess you could check it on the consumer side. So that's basically Celestial Park. It's the main hub. It's going to be kind of where you go in, and I think we mentioned when we on take one how interesting it's going to be, like just to kind of see the different ways they incorporate how to get to the different other lands.
Hmm,
Is that like,
it is cheaper than Hard Rock Hotel.
huh,
2 queen bedroom, $424. This is of course in October. $424 a night. That's not bad at all,
sweet.
considering Hard Rock is like
Yeah,
$600, $700 a night.
yeah,
Where's the
that's
let's see
crazy
what that
because, and I know it's not universal, but when we stay at the Hard Rock over on the coast, and it's not that much
yeah.
money.
Park View with 2 queen beds is 530 a night. That's still not bad. When you get up into club level, you're only looking at 589. Like it's not bad at all. Hmm.
Does it say,
Maybe I'll
which
try that.
I know initially, yeah, I know initially I don't think you can use Express Pass at,
No, I don't think they're gonna include
Epic.
Express Pass
Does
if
this
they
one come
do.
with Express Pass?
Mm-mm, I don't think so.
This
Also, I think
hotel?
that's why
No.
it's a little bit cheaper than Hard Rock is because like Hard Rock includes the Express Pass, but this one's not going to
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah, I knew they said I didn't know if it was, like, eventually, I guess we don't know that. I know at first they said the new hotels they hadn't included.
Yeah. No, it doesn't include it, which is probably why
So,
it's a little bit cheaper.
yeah. Oh, and then the other thing I didn't mention was, which I thought was odd too, was that the Nintendo Superstar store, that's hard to
Yeah.
say, is in Celestial Park. So I'm sure they have, stores in the Nintendo area as well, but I guess with this
I'm
being the main hub,
yeah.
maybe that's the bigger store that they'll have.
I'm intrigued to see how much people spend time in Celestial Park. Like, because I mean, there's not much to it except for, you know, a roller coaster and a carousel.
Yeah, same.
So,
And I guess too, because it's not really, the other ones, at least you're going into a themed area and
yeah.
it's something specific. So of course the Potterheads are gonna want to go, like to Harry Potter area, and the others. Like, I mean, we're gonna want to visit all of them, but this one doesn't
Yeah, of
have like a
course.
specific theme. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice entry
sweet.
that but I think a lot of people are just going to go and just go to their
Yeah,
perspective nerd area.
yeah. Almost kind of like a city walk with a couple of rides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. All right,
Which that
sweet.
also
Okay, which one
sucks.
do you want to
Like,
go to next?
all I was gonna say that also sucks. Like, it's not attached to City Park. Like, but I don't know. Let's talk about your
Yeah,
favorite.
that's true. So that would be Nintendo. Super Nintendo World. Yeah, I am super excited about this one. Mainly because, it takes me back to my son's childhood.
Yeah,
Um, and even my brother, I have a younger brother. Well, actually, I have two younger brothers, but um, who was a huge Nintendo fan because it came out when we were kids. So it's just kind of like the nostalgia of Super Nintendo World.
yeah,
Um, so this one, they'll have, for as far as rides go, we have Mario Kart, um, Bowser's Challenge, and so this is the one where you put the goggles on and race through, and you're racing, Luigi and Princess
3D
Peach.
virtual reality.
Yes, this one
That's
is super cool because this was also one that I was able to see on the model, and so it kind of showed you like the lighted racetrack. Um, I am not good at Mario Kart. I will tell you, I crash.
look.
I don't know what it
Thursday,
is, but I
Thursday for
cannot.
small group. You come over to the house. We'll play Super Mario and talk Jesus.
Yes, I will definitely need to practice, and we'll definitely need to talk to Jesus because these games, oh gosh, when Braden was younger, and I don't remember how old he was. I think I said 5 or 6 initially, but he might have been older. I'm not sure. And we would play Super Mario Brothers because I'm thinking, this is something that my son loves. Let me try to play, so we can bond over Super Mario Brothers. No, we were not bonding. We were fighting. I'm like, we are literally fighting over a game because he thought it was fun because he was better than me, of course. And then he would pick me up and I'm thinking he's gonna help me. And he kept throwing me to where I would lose a life. And then I'd have to sit in the bubble and wait to get. So finally one day I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna play with you anymore. If you throw me one more time, I'm not playing with you anymore. And so yeah, that ended our Super Mario days of
I
playing.
like it.
Yeah. He was not nice. I'm like, "I am your mother. Supposed to be
Sad.
helping me."
There is
Yeah.
no relationships in video games. You're getting destroyed.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Although
Definitely.
I do let Rachel win sometimes. Um, but most of the time I win. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah. I wanna see what she says when she hears that you
Shh,
said
don't
you
ask
let her win.
questions. Well, no, don't ask questions.
Okay, so what else? We got, Mine Cart Madness with Donkey Kong. So that one, is where you appear to be jumping across the tracks in, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah,
So
super
that
cool
one looks pretty
concept.
cool. Yeah, that one looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then, taking over to where the little kids can have some fun, that we were mentioning, they have Yoshi's Adventure. And that one is where it's looks like it's, family friendly. You can look for the glowing eggs, and I don't know if I mean, I know who Yoshi is, but I don't know that I've really played, the Yoshi game.
Yeah,
So but it seems like it'll be cool. You
I
look
think I'm not
for
too big
colored eggs
into.
along the journey.
Hmm.
Yep.
My children would have fun with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think out of all the rides, it seems to be like that's the main one that's gonna be targeted for little kids.
Yeah.
So, again, not a whole lot. What I think is neat is that you can actually meet Mario and Luigi and
Mhm.
Princess Peach and Toad. So they'll have some character meet opportunities. They have the
So many
Toadstool
boomers are
Cafe.
gonna live their best life.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be fun because it's gonna, again, take you back, like the first time Braden met Buzz Lightyear, and I acted like it was a real thing, and he was meeting his childhood hero for the first time. I'm like, "These people must think I'm an idiot." I was like, "Oh my god, he's been dying to meet you." Like, yeah. So, yeah, that was my moment. So yeah, so it'll be fun to meet those characters. It'd be interesting to see what they look like too. If it's
Yeah.
gonna be I'm sure it's gotta be full costume and
Oh,
not
yeah. Yeah.
a person. Princess Peach will probably be a person,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
I could see them. No, I don't know. I could see it going one of 2 ways. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a
Did
full
you
costume. I feel like it.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Did you see this is off topic, but did you see the Star-Lord for, Guardians
Yes.
over at Disney? Yeah,
Yes.
funny. If y'all haven't seen it, go check it out.
And
Interesting character.
yeah.
Um, anyway, so then they have Toadstool Cafe, which is going to be a quick service dining area, soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts. So probably your typical park foods. And then another cool thing is the Power Up Band. So it's like an interactive band that you wear. You can play against your family. It's where you collect points and you can challenge folks. And also a neat little accessory. I'm all about extra park accessories. I wear a magic band all the time. over at Disney. So I think even if I have no idea how to use this band, I'll probably get one just because it's going to be neat and cool, and I'll just wear it as an accessory.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely.
so that's Nintendo World. Again, I think it's going to be great because I don't even know when Nintendo came out, but I know I was a kid, and it's just
I
still,
played it as a kid.
yeah, it's still extremely popular. I mean, it hasn't gone away, so
Mm.
it's gonna. I think this is gonna be one of the high areas with traffic for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm intrigued to see, right? Because, like, I don't know. You got Donkey Kong, and then you kind of got Mario. I feel like your older generation is going to stick towards, feel like they're
Donkey
going to stick
Kong.
more towards Donkey Kong. And then all your younger
Mhm.
generation, that's like, I mean, to be honest, like, a lot of what the younger generation, they didn't grow up playing Mario. They grew up playing Super Mario Splash Brothers, or even your most current generation. All they've ever played is Mario Kart. Like, they probably never
Yeah,
played the original Mario games. So I feel like you're going to see a split world once it opens up. But we'll see. I'm intrigued.
yeah, yeah. I like Donkey Kong. That's one of the ones I remember from back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day. Um,
Such
yeah, I'm
so
excited
old.
for Nintendo. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, so you
Um,
want to take one of yours?
yeah, I'll take. I'm gonna save the best for last because let's be honest, it is the best part. I'll cover Dark Universe. I'm super excited about Dark Universe. And I think since you and I talked about it last week, which nobody heard that conversation, um, I don't know. I think it's going to be much less scary than I initially thought it was going to be. Like, because I mean, the whole concept behind it is, Victoria Frankenstein, Frankenstein's daughter, and like all the creations of the Frankenstein family. And I don't think they're going to try to make it like a jump scare kind of area. Like I think it really is just going to be to discover a dark universe where you get to, experience the monsters of Victoria Frankenstein. I don't
Mhm.
know. We'll see. I mean, I could be totally wrong. And as soon as you walk through the gate, somebody's going to jump out at you in a werewolf costume. I could be totally wrong. And I can guarantee you, I'm pushing Rachel first because I want to film that and post it to our channel. Um, But no, so Dark Universe is going to be super cool. Like I said, it's going to be, all about the monsters of Victoria Frankenstein. So we're going to see Frankenstein and his bride. We're going to see, werewolves, vampires, all these different types of monsters that, go back to Victoria Frankenstein. Um, I think one of the coolest things that I'm most looking forward to is inside of Victoria Frankenstein's castle, where they're going to have the Face the Rage of Monsters Unchained. Um, so, I mean, this one just, the details behind it says you're going to be in the midst of an angry revolt of fiendish monsters. So, it's supposed to be like a thrill motion type thing. But I am super excited about that one because that one you're actually I think the queue is going to be inside Victoria Frankenstein's castle. So um, just kind of looking back to like all the queues that Universal has done recently, especially over at like Harry Potter. They did a really good job with those queues. So I'm super excited to see what they do with the queue of that ride.
Yeah, I have a feeling
Um,
this is gonna be, like, probably, like, a Kong experience for Liv or even, like, a dinosaur. So I'm definitely can't wait to do this one with her because
yeah,
she gets a little spooked. So
these are the moments that we video for our podcast page.
Yes, definitely.
So that one
Yeah, I had
seems
to
like
go and look.
go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say I had to look initially because I wasn't really sure what Dark Universe was gonna entail, and
Yeah.
so
Well, I think it helps because
it's
just like this past week, they started releasing like what monsters we can expect to see. Um, so I'm getting excited for Dark Universe for sure.
yeah, I don't know that this one will be my favorite, but I'm also not a like a Halloween Horror Nights kind of person. I'm
Well,
not
we know.
scared, but I don't know.
I'm all
We'll
for it.
see.
Every
I
year,
know.
every October, I am depressed because I can never find anybody to go do haunted houses with me, and I love haunted houses, and it's so
It's
sad.
crazy. When I was younger, I used to. And especially because my birthday's the next day. So like Halloween night was the night for me to go and hang out and do stuff. And so we used to do haunted houses a lot when I was
Oh
younger.
yeah, yeah,
But now I can't.
love them. So I'm going to love Dark Universe.
There you go.
Also going to have the Escape the Claws of Curse of the Werewolf. So this one you said is kind of like Toy Story Mania kind of setup.
Yeah, the
Uh,
seat. Like I think you
yeah,
have
the
two
C
and
style.
two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the pictures of it now. They don't really give much details about like what it's going to be about, but you're definitely going to be sitting back to back, um, kind of like you do in Toy Story Mania. Welcomes you to a secluded wagon camp. Here you're warned of the creatures who prowl the deep woods. Before long, you're riding the curse of the werewolf, surrounded by glowing eyes and gnashing teeth. You'll spin and weave through the forest as you attempt to escape a pack of werewolves. Honestly, from this picture, it looks like it's going to be a roller coaster type because, like, just like yeah, this is gonna be there. No, this looks like it's gonna be a roller coaster where you're sitting like two people back to back, and it turns kind of
Yeah,
like
and it
Guardians of the
spins.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a fabulous ride. That's gonna be Dark Universe's roller coaster. Is the Curse of the
Yeah.
Werewolf? Mm.
Well, don't tell Josh so that way I can get him on it.
Yeah, don't
I'd
tell
be
him.
like,
Tell him it's
no,
gonna
it's
be
I'm like
just like Toy Story Mania,
Toy
Josh. It
Story.
doesn't move.
Right. I'm
All
like,
you
look
gotta
at the
do is sit here
seats.
and pull the
Right.
thing. Just shoot at werewolves. You'll be
Exactly.
fine.
Shoot the werewolf.
Put a
Uh,
GoPro on him.
yeah.
So
I don't
that's
know.
gonna be
I
cool.
think he's learned his lesson
Not to trust you.
not to trust. Well, the kids got him on Guardians. I didn't want to push him.
Wasn't.
So
I thought he wasn't that turned away by Guardians of the Galaxy. It was easier.
yeah,
Oh well.
we'll see. Yeah.
Um, couple other things that Dark Universe is going to have. One of which I'm super excited about is the I'm going to call it the makeup area, but it's got an actual name. Dark More Monster Makeup and Experience. So you're going to be able to have professional makeup artists essentially turn you into a monster, whether it's a vampire, werewolf, Frankenstein, and the artwork for it looks really cool, like very Frankenstein type esque look up. You're also going to be able to meet monsters. So you're going to be able to um, meet Victoria Frankenstein's monsters, and then possibly my favorite thing is Doss Steakhouse. It's going to be it's kind of like in my mind. I imagine it's going to be like eating in like a vampire castle in Transylvania type theme. Um,
Hmm.
of course, eating the best meal that you can possibly eat, which is steak. But they'll also have the Burning Blade Tavern, which is going to be kind of more quick service burgers, wings, bratwurst, pretzels, and beverages. So, as I've said many times, I am definitely excited about Dark Universe.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where's my notes where I got this, but oh, let me see. Wait, because I'm like, did I? Yeah. So it just caught my eye. One of the meet and greets is the Invisible Man. So how does that work?
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Right.
I'm
I mean,
sure that
like, how do you meet the Invisible Man?
in my head I can tell you exactly how the picture would work. But I don't know.
I got you. Yeah, they just
Ah,
snap a picture and then somebody's there.
yeah. You put
Yeah.
a guy in a green suit and you won't be able to see him.
Yeah. That's funny.
No, I was just looking at that.
I'm down
Yeah.
to see that.
Well, here in about 7 months, you're going to.
Yeah. We'll see
So yeah,
who's got the first picture with the Invisible Man.
that'll be a good one. I'm excited about Dark Universe.
Yeah, it'd be fun. All right,
On to
so
your
then
second
if
one.
yeah, so we'll switch on over to How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. Um, this one, so I know for sure I don't know how many of these movies they have. I've seen the
I
first
think
one
there's
for
three.
sure. 3. Okay. So I don't know. I may have seen the second. I don't know. Or I don't know if I've seen the third. But this will be pretty neat for How to Train Your Dragons fans to have a whole land area based on that.
Yeah,
It says journey to a rocky isle and discover a village populated by rugged Vikings and rambunctious dragons. So I guess even just dragon fans, if you're not familiar with
yeah,
the show, the movies. This one has 3 rides. So Burke on Hiccup's wing gliders. So I do know Hiccup is the main dragon, right?
correct.
And
Yes.
in the movie. Yep. Um so wait, let me go. I need to open it because I know there's the one ride, but I think it's the Dragon Racers one.
It
Um
is.
yeah. So the Hiccup is just a flying machine. It launches aspiring dragons into the air, swooping and soaring and encountering Hiccup and Toothless along the way. Oh yeah, I remember Toothless too. Um, in that one. Then the other ride, here we go. Oh yeah, so take a coaster ride on Hiccup's Wing Gliders. That's the roller coaster one. So that one looks
Yeah,
pretty fun. And I don't know in the concept art too. There's like an area where there's a little bridge. So I don't know if you are gonna get splashed on this or if the water just
yeah. It
maybe
kind of looks like it.
splashes folks on the bridge there. That looks pretty cool. Although I don't always like to get wet on rides, but it is what it is. The Dragon Racers Rally. This is one you will not get me on. This kind of reminds me of like something you'd see at like an amusement park
Mm,
where it's like going up in the air and spinning. Um, it's
I don't
high
think.
flying, gravity defying, swooping and soaring is how it's described.
Mm,
So
death.
that one,
That's what it looks
yeah,
like. Is death.
it definitely does. I can see maybe Olivia and Braden going on there, but this is one I'll sit out with Josh and let them do that because I don't think I can handle it.
We'll see. I don't. I don't. We'll see. We'll wait
Yeah,
for the actual videos of the ride to come out.
yeah, and that's true. That's fair because maybe once you see it, it's not quite as bad. Just looking at the
It looks like
picture,
death. It looks like something you would see in Final Destination.
yeah, not a fan.
We'll
And then we
see.
have Fire Drill,
I can't
which
wait for this one.
you yeah, this is so cool. After just saying how you don't really like to get wet, this one you board a Viking ship and you get to blast water against other folks in the opposite boats.
I'm
So
making
I
sure my
think,
kids are on the opposite boats.
yeah, I mean, so you could squirt them. This one's
Yep.
kind of similar where it has the target, so you're shooting the water to blast the targets.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it like if you rack up points like you would on Toy Story Mania, or if it's just a target thing. But then you get to wet the other boats. So how fun is that?
Sold.
Uh,
Put the
yeah,
rest
to
of my
ride by
family on
and
the
get
boat.
soaked. Yeah. What else? Let's see what other experiences we have. You can the Untrainable Dragon. So it's like a stage show. Experience the wonder of dragons on stage soaring overhead in this spectacular music-filled,
This one looks cool.
heartwarming live show. Yeah, that looks super neat. Because we didn't really see any stage shows so far in the other
Mm.
one. So this is
I feel
something
like it's gonna
where,
be
um,
it's gonna be Finding Nemo: The Great Big Blue, but on steroids.
yeah, it's looking at the concept art, it looks like they actually fly over the
Mhm.
audience somewhat. So this again could be something, for the smaller kids, something that you can take the whole family to. And then they have the Viking training camp, which also is geared more towards the little
Mhm.
ones, where they can climb on the dragons, slide and explore. I guess it's like a little playground type area. Um, so that looks super neat. That's like a whole big playground area.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like they have some dragon seesaws maybe and slides. So that's definitely geared towards the little kids.
Yeah, and there's no height requirements for it, so that's super nice. Yeah, that is
Yep,
straight kids all day. I'm gonna drop my
straight
kids off
kids.
and go to
Yeah,
somewhere else.
and go to Dark Universe.
Facts. Yeah,
You can
that'll
take
be good.
me, and I'll play with them in there while you
There
and
we
Rachel go
go.
to Dark
There we go.
Universe. Yeah, and then if you get hungry, there is Mead Hall, which is gonna have meats, fish, and drinks. So I just imagine, like, the big Viking mugs and turkey legs and, yeah, that kinda
You
stuff.
can guarantee if there's a giant Viking cup, it's coming home with me.
There you
Or if
go.
there's a Viking horn that I can drink out of, it's happening.
Seems like it. That's what, kinda appears to be in, Mead Hall. It's almost like Meat Hall. But anyway, so that is How to Train Your Dragon. So those folks who are dragon fans or fans of the movie, looks like it's a super fun area.
I'll have to rewatch those movies. I haven't watched them in a while. Next weekend with my kids. Here we go. Weekend's planned out.
There you go. Sounds like fun. I like to do that. Like, well, I think I told you I started trying to watch the Harry Potter movies, but I didn't finish it. So
No judgment.
maybe
No
I'll
judgment.
maybe I'll get back on that.
You need to. Yes.
But
Because you're
and
missing
to be
out.
fair, it was during COVID, and so I was working from home. So I just kinda had the movies on in the background, so I wasn't paying attention. Now, I think for the first one, I just watched it, and so then the other ones so I was missing a lot, and I was confused a lot because I was working, so I wasn't paying, attention fully to the movie, and so there was times when I didn't know what was going on. So
Did
maybe
you
if
ever
I
read the
start
book?
over and
Mm.
I don't read books too often. I'm not a reader. I did hear the books are better, but yeah.
You're going to be
No,
that
I'm
person that's
more
never
of
read the books, has never watched the movies, but you're going to watch the HBO Max series when it comes out.
the Harry Potter one. There's a
Yeah,
Harry Potter Max series coming out.
of
Sweet.
course. Well, that's because like it's needed, right? Because the books like
Yeah.
missed so much, and there's only so much you can fit into a 2-hour movie. So there's so much that the books miss that I am so excited to see in the series when it comes out in 2026.
So is it gonna like start kind of from the beginning, or like do I need to know anything about it, or
No,
I can just watch
you
it?
can literally just start
Oh,
watching it
sweet.
because it's starting from the very beginning of year one. So whole new cast, all
Okay.
everything. So
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
speaking of Harry
Yeah.
Potter,
Speaking of,
my time to shine. Um,
there you go. It's all you.
so Harry Potter, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is it's quite interesting, right? Because most of, I wouldn't say most of, but a lot of what we're going to see in, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic is really, it's not based on Harry Potter. It's based off of uh Fantastical Beasts and Where to Find Them, which took place like 50 or 60 years before Harry Potter. So a lot of what we're going to see in the Harry Potter portion of Epic Universe is based off of Paris in the 1920s. Um, One of the things that I think I'm most excited about is the main ride, and really kind of the only ride that's going to be in the Harry Potter land, is the Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. Um, I talked about this last week. I'm going to try to find the video and post it to our page. But I saw a video a couple weeks ago, and it was one of the. There's my dogs. It was one of the. I don't know what Universal calls their nerds, so I'm going to call them an Imagineer because that's what Disney calls them. It was one of Universal's Imagineers that was talking about how they developed the getting into the Ministry of Magic, right? Because in the Harry Potter world, one of the ways that you travel is through flue powder, and it's kind of like you step into a fireplace, you get this powder, and you throw it down, and you just kind of disappear, and you show back up where you want to show up. So they're doing that. That's how you're getting to the Ministry of Magic, and like just hearing the passion and the excitement about how they're going to pull this off to get all these people into this ride. Like I'm just super excited. But no, Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry is going to take you back to just after Voldemort was defeated. Um, why am I drawing a blank on her name? Umbridge, one of the professors that was on Dumbledore's side, or Dumbledore that was on Voldemort's side, is about to go to trial at the Ministry of Magic, and while she's there, she escapes. And so you follow Harry, Ron, and Hermione through the Ministry of Magic as they try to capture Umbridge and get her back to her trial. So that one's going to be super cool. I think I'm more excited about the queue than I am the actual ride itself, but we'll see. Um, the show that's going to be there takes you back to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in Paris, or in this, was it the first movie? I think it was the second movie. In the second movie, when we saw the main character Newt go to Paris, one of the things that we saw was a magical, like a circus act, and so that's exactly what they're going to bring. They're going to bring Le Cirque Arcanus um, to the Harry Potter world. So we're going to see all these fantastic creatures, all these fantastic circus acts. So I think that's going to be a really cool experience to get to see that, and come to especially for the Harry Potter nerds, to get to see some of the not the characters, but I guess the creatures that we saw in the movies, like come to life. So I'm excited to see how to do that. Um, of course, my favorite part, of which I'm always embarrassed by, but you'll see me do it every time, is the interactive wand experiences that are going to be throughout. Look, don't laugh at me. You can bet that I'm going to be walking around doing my little wand waving thing, trying to figure out. Look, the worst part, if you've never done it, have you ever done it?
No,
So you
I
get
have
this
not.
wand, right? And it comes with this little map. And the map, it shows you the different spots throughout the park that you can go do these spells at. And it shows you the
Mhm.
gesture that you're supposed to do. And let me tell you what, some of these that I was standing there for like 5 minutes, like, and nothing happened, but
I
you
wanna come
see it
video that.
every time. Like every time you go, you see somebody standing there like, because it's not working. Because you have to point it. There's like a little, um, I don't know that you have to point the wand at a certain spot when you do it, because if you point it like at an angle, like the UV or RV, whatever the scientific term is, like if it doesn't
Mhm.
connect, it won't work. So you'll see people that are
Doesn't
pointing in
work.
the wrong spot doing it. It's hilarious, but you'll have that. So you'll have that throughout the area, and then of course some shopping, because what is Harry Potter World without magic shops where you can go buy, snacks and souvenirs that are, of course, the super expensive uh, robes. And then there'll be a kind of, it sounds like a quick service place that has some French baked goods, sandwiches, and desserts. And of course, butterbeer, which I think it's called something different in Paris. I don't know why, but I think it's called something different. Um,
Hmm.
we're making butterbeer this week. I don't know. I'll bring it to small group, but I'm gonna make some butterbeer and bring it. Um,
Um,
cannot wait to have some butterbeer. It's fabulous. So
it's
yeah,
so
that's Harry
good.
Potter.
Sweet. Yeah, the whole bond thing, when we went to Universal in over the summer, Braden's into Harry Potter. And so we went into
Smart man.
Ollivander's, and we had no idea. I don't like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about it. So we thought we were just walking into you have to wait. They only let so many people
Mhm.
in at a time. And I'm like,
Yeah,
it's crazy. We have to wait to go in the store. But it's like this whole show, and there's the older gentleman in there. I don't even know who he is. And
Ollivander.
oh, is that him? See, I told you. Oh, no. I just
Ollivander.
thought that was the name of this.
It's
I thought that was
me.
the name of the store. Yeah. So Ollivander was there and doing the little, the whole show, and then he picked one of the kids, and they got to match up with their wand. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
It's kind of creepy, but neat. And then you get to go into the store. I can't remember if Braden, I think he bought a wand, but I'm not 100% sure. I think he did. But we didn't try to do anything throughout the park. So if he did, we missed that opportunity.
yeah. We didn't do that. We saw the line and we're like, nah. And so we just went in. I knew what wand I wanted. I went in, bought it, and I got out.
Yeah, fun
I wonder
stuff.
where that wand is. I think it's downstairs. I don't know. I
See,
can find that.
buy these things. I'm sure Braden probably doesn't know where his is at either. I'm like,
I've
you
also
spend money on those
moved
things,
like
and then
4 times since I bought it.
oh gosh, yeah, military life.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that's Epic
So
Universe.
that was it.
You know, I think I'm excited to see the pictures that are going to come over the next couple months as they finish building Epic Universe. It's going to be a pretty cool park. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think it's been, by the time it opens, they will have been talking about it for 6 years. So they have a
Right?
lot. They have a lot to live up to at this point.
Yeah. It seems like, I mean, if it's anything close to the concept art, it looks like it's going to be amazing. And Universal does everything really well.
Yeah, I mean they
Their
do.
rides,
Yeah.
the queues, and so yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a whole new experience.
Yeah. So
Fun stuff.
that's it for today. I think we got to figure out what we're talking about next week, because I think we need to talk you know Disney versus Universal when it comes to the different passes. Because at this
Yep.
point, we mentioned it briefly today, and then of course Disney just dropped the "I am way
Premier
too
pass.
bougie to be here" Premier Pass. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's been a lot of chatter in the travel agent world because the folks who maybe would get the VIP tour, now maybe crossing over and doing the
yeah,
Premier Pass. I did have one client who wanted to get the Premier Pass, But his 7-day window for the multi-pass opened first before they started
Mm,
selling Premier Pass. And he was a
yeah.
little hesitant to wait. So he decided to go with the multi-pass. So we'll see, how that interferes with maybe some VIP tours. So
Yeah. I
I
think
don't
we
know.
should talk about that next week. Because then when we come back, we'll be able to talk about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear all about it. And then we do have some guests lined up. I haven't gotten any dates locked in, so I need to check with him. So we'll do a Christmas at Disney episode in the next few weeks. So
Yeah.
hopefully with a special guest. I don't want to say his name just in case something happens and it doesn't work out, but it'll be fun to
Hopefully.
have someone
Thank you.
else, yeah, join us. And
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, so it'll be fun. So yeah, next week we'll talk about Premier Pass and Universal. And I guess we didn't really announce it this time that we've decided that we're going to start releasing episodes weekly instead
Yes.
of every 2 weeks. So that way we can bring up to date information to you guys sooner.
Yeah.
So starting, yeah, on our next episode will be weekly.
Yeah. Um Choked on my own saliva. And with that being said, make sure you guys are definitely following us, subscribing to our podcast. I think at this point, the easiest way to keep up with our podcast, our social media, is through our Beacons page, beacons.ai/going beyond the castle. It's got links to everywhere that we post our podcast. And then we've got links to our Facebook page and our Instagram page, which is definitely in the works, but it'll get some love in the near future. And then, of course, if you're looking to reach out for information about the podcast, or about travel, you can always reach out to us at info@goingbeyondthecastle.com. And then for me specifically, the best way to get a hold of me is through my Beacons page. If you can't tell, I'm big Beacons. But my Beacons page is beacons.ai/Disney with Fred. And then Lori, if you'll give your spiel on how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and probably I don't know why I haven't now said this before because it's probably easiest too. And what I keep up to date is my website, which is loribtalamo.com. Because I've changed my name on my Facebook page a couple of
Yeah.
times, so at least this way it's consistent. And then two, something fun. I'd love to get more folks to join our podcast group on Facebook, which is Going Beyond the Castle Podcast Lounge. Because
Yeah.
there we can have, more interactive conversations and put some fun stuff out there. So if you haven't joined the group, be sure to go and join the group.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Yep.
I think with that being
All
said,
right,
thanks for
sweet.
joining us this week on Going Beyond the Castle. We'll look forward to talking to you guys again in a week, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Sweet. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for being part of this enchanting journey with us. Stay connected by following us on Facebook at Going Beyond the Castle Podcast and joining our community in the Going Beyond the Castle Podcast Lounge Facebook group. For all your travel needs, contact the official travel agents of the Going Beyond the Castle Podcast at info@beyondthecastlepodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, see you real soon.